Hey everybody, Chris here. Dogecoin's getting ready to go on a run. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And on the Sunday live stream, we were looking at some green candles and there was some good news. We'll talk about that. But never trust a Sunday pump. That's right. I was feeling a little bearish, and this morning a few little red candles come back, but we're still setting up to go on a bigger run. So let's get into it. Let me show you the charts in the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. And we start here with the current Dogecoin chart at 20.28. Yeah, we're over 20 cents. Weren't able to break 21. And I'm still zoomed out on the 2-hour chart because we're still trading sideways in the purple box overall. I will show you what these moving averages are here in just a minute. But this is just to show that Dogecoin continues to be range bound now for almost 2.5 weeks. Since the big flash crash on the 10th of October, and just about every other crypto is too. Now, Bitcoin had a little pump yesterday, we'll talk about that, and was able to break that resistance line, but is still in the same location as it was back here on the 13th of October. That's 2 weeks ago on Monday as well, before sliding on Monday night into Tuesday. Those red candles, we could see that again for Bitcoin. We did have the little run here yesterday, and that run was taking out leveraged shorts. We saw the shorts getting liquidated on this pump right here that we had. So Bitcoin doing a little better percentage-wise than Dogecoin, as well as ETH. ETH just touched right above its resistance line, but everything else, range-bound, from Algorand to Solana to Cardano to Hedera, Sheeb, Litecoin, VeChain, XRP was holding that resistance line, was right there, but not able to come above. So this is across the entire crypto market still kind of in this wait and see mode. What's going on? Why is crypto going up? Of course, this was before we started to see the red candles. Again, never trust a Sunday pump. Bitcoin and ETH price rally for 5th straight session. Not so much anymore. XRP, Dogecoin follow. And why was this going up and why is this moving? Well, we did have from the news yesterday, before President Trump meets with Xi Jinping and really solidifies the U.S.-China new trade deal, there are some advanced teams talking between United States and China, and there seems to be a framework that is in place, and that news did come out yesterday. So that a very substantial framework was good news, and that was just enough of a little pump that the market needed for the market makers to come in, get the price spiking up to take out those leveraged shorts, and we saw that during our live stream on Sunday. So what does this mean overall? Bitcoin's technical breakout opens path to 120K, and that would be if Bitcoin continued up in these green candles. However, as we see now on Monday morning, that's not happening, right? That has stalled and looks like we could be range bound, but at a higher level. So that's good. That would be a little, just establishing a little bit of a higher level for Bitcoin. ETH doing exactly the same thing. Didn't quite get as big of a boost. And we saw XRP hugging its resistance line. And how about Dogecoin? Well, these guys say Dogecoin faces a death cross warning, and I'm like, what? Death cross? There's no death cross going on with Doge. And no, the 50-day moving average has practically crossed below the 200 EMA. Well, they got the 50, the 200 right, but it's not the EMA, it's the SMA. And we look at Dogecoin, we go to the daily, because it's always on the daily. And again, I'm only saying this in case you hear out there, oh, Dogecoin's going to have this death cross, right? Well, no, because the 200 needs to be the simple moving average, the SMA, not the E. It's the SMA. The EMA will have it higher, and you'll be approaching a death cross like they show. But no, this is the real thing, and I just want to keep things real here. So you've started hearing, oh, death cross, death cross. No, there's no death cross coming. Here we had our golden cross back here on the 11th of August. And Dogecoin did go on a run, but then, of course, we had the fade back, a little pump, and then we had the big liquidation event I still call it the Binance liquidation event, not Trump China tariff thing. That was just a little bit of it, and the rest of it, of course, was manipulated all the way down. Our last death cross for Dogecoin was back here, and that was in March. Yes, the last death cross was back in March, which of course was all the fear of the tariffs. We had the prices already moving down before the big April bottom at 13 cents that we had there. Since then, Dogecoin has continued with higher lows, hasn't gone back to either the April dip or the June dip when we came back down to 14 cents. So Doge holding up very strong. And again, I discount the 9.5 cent bottom of the flash crash because again, that was totally manipulated and lack of liquidity because of all of that selling. I mean, just about every crypto had that quick drop and back up. There was no sustained trading at that level. So just wanted to say there's no death cross yet. So let's move on. This week, Wednesday, the U.S. Fed, the FOMC, does meet. Now a 96.7% chance that the Fed is going to cut interest rates by 25 basis points. And we'll see what Chappelle has to say on Wednesday afternoon. And is it going to be hawkish or dovish, or it's going to talk about like the balance sheet, right? Reducing the balance sheet, like all of that, quantitative tightening, ending, quantitative easing coming in. We'll see what language he uses there, and that is going to just expect a little volatility there. That's probably going to happen. And of course, the China trade deal, toward the end of the week, is that really going to be solved? And what about the government shutdown? I'm still hoping, right? There's a lot of prediction markets. We looked at the poly market saying like mid-November or maybe even into December. And I'm just like, oh, I hope it doesn't go that long. It's just going to totally destroy what's left of our 4-year cycle. We have in Japan, the Nikkei, right, their stock exchange, the stock market. They broke 50,000 for the first time in history. It's up 65% since April's tariff crash. Remember, risk assets like Bitcoin and crypto always catch up in the end once liquidity shifts. You're not bullish enough on Q4. So, good for Japan and having, new all-time high for their stock market. Let's go, right? Let's go. Miles says, look, it was written in the stars that thousands of normies lining up to buy gold would mark the Pico top. And we saw that like a week and a half ago. Remember, we were looking at gold hitting its all-time high, and we were looking at all the lines in all these countries around the world, people lining up to buy gold. And that was the top. And since then, gold has been going down, right? It was just like, yeah. And so now, a bunch of people, like, holding gold, and gold is down. And they were just, like, expecting it to go up forever. Now, we're used to this in crypto, but in gold? And what happens? So we have gold go up and do this double top and come down. Interesting that the inverse correlation has been Bitcoin. While gold was going up, Bitcoin was going down. But look at that. Bitcoin now trending back up while gold is trending down. Inverse correlation. Is this the catch-up trade? Is this the rotation back out of gold into Bitcoin? We look at the Bitcoin MACD. We're doing a crossover on the MACD. That is a good signal on the bullish crossover that things are turning around for Bitcoin. And here we are, fourth quarter, Q4, right? The whole month of October has been wasted because of all this political mess, which is too bad. No Uptober. Of course, a year ago we had the explosive growth in November in crypto. And what's going to happen here? Moonvember, is that actually going to happen? Or are we going to be stuck, right? We're going to be stuck down here just continuing to range trade because of all the uncertainties in the market. Bitcoin has opened the week with a CME gap. So again, these gap, they don't have to close, right? They don't have to close. Bitcoin could just keep going up, but many people, we got to close the gap down to 111. So we'll be watching that. Now we still have $93,000, $94,000 Bitcoin that never closed, right? Now, I'm not expecting Bitcoin to drop down there. Someone in the comments there, because I talked about this, like, it's like, it doesn't have to close, right? I mean, oh, it's got to close. Got to go to 111. Has to close. No, it doesn't have to. And then somebody says, well, it will next bear market. And it's like, that's not the point. That's not what the people say. They say during a bull market, you're going to have pullbacks to close these gaps. And all it is the difference between when Bitcoin stopped trading Friday, afternoon, and when it starts trading again Monday morning in the futures. That's what that gap is. So we had that jump over the weekend. It doesn't have to close. ETH rebounding off the channel bottom. So Ali has this downward channel, and I'm just like, no, Ali, you have to zoom out. You have to zoom out. And when you zoom out, you will see that we're still range bound sideways. We're still in this sideways. I mean, you can make up in a shorter time frame whatever upward channel you want, but you zoom out and you see we're still trading sideways. So sorry, Ali. And what does that mean for Doge? Well, I mean, Trader Allen is the same thing, right? We've been range bound, right? Sideways, but I guess you can kind of form a triangle, but I don't know what the hell this is, because this isn't pointing to anything right down here. Yeah, there was a little dip there, and you do those 2 points, but I don't know how you get like some kind of flag or target pulling this down to a point where it's breakout. It's a breakout, and it's just like, no, Alan, no, not really a breakout. It's still sideways, as I've shown. Descending triangle, right? We got a descending triangle with a breakout, so maybe that will be this move up, and I'm just like, no, not yet. The macroeconomic news, right, and this U.S. government shutdown is still going to keep things suppressed, and we're still going to be going sideways. So, unfortunately, the signs are there for a run to start, and we will get there. It's just not happening yet. People all excited, like a little green candle on Sunday. It's like, that's a Sunday fake out. Right? Don't trust the Sunday pump, as I say. And we got our friend James Wynn. It's like, Slum Doge millionaire, right? Of course, he's like a permabull, right? And every time there's some green candles, right? He's got his Robinhood app out, and he snaps a little picture, says, oh, here we go, right? Woo, right? All in the green. And of all people, this James Wynn character, right? This man is ignorant as they come. He round-tripped millions of dollars of Doge, coped through the entire Pepe run, kept calling for the top. Eventually he got it right, but if a man can't control all this stuff, I mean, he's talking about personal, it's just like, come on, dude. This guy's such a... He's literally bullish over a Sunday fake out, washed up Doge whale who got lucky, didn't cash in on the winning ticket, stay safe out there. And I say, well, at least he didn't like leverage trade and lose like hundreds of millions of dollars like this stupid James Wynn character. So, I give Glauber credit, right? He bought and held. And I did the same thing. I bought 2021 and I held through it all. Eventually took some profits, but I mean, just don't leverage trade. I mean, stay safe out there, but don't follow this guy. I follow him just for the just for the joke, right? In fact, I was subscribed, and I unsubscribed because I was just like, ugh. But he still shows up in my feed, and I'm just like, oh, no. Yeah, I am following the guy. Still shows up, but I'm just like, no. I'm not subscribing. I was like, I thought this guy was going to be like this really cool, and he's just not. Do not leverage trade. That's all. Just buy spot. Hold. We'll see if we're going to have this big like Q4 rotation from gold and what's going to happen November, December. That's the run we're looking for. We just need the government shutdown to end. We need the U.S.-China trade deal done. Let's get the interest rate cuts, like all of that behind us. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about upcoming run on Dogecoin? Give the video a like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.